75 laps for the limited late models here at the 21st edition of the Autumn Colors Classic at Peterborough Speedway. Green flag is out, and early on we're going to get a caution. Heads up, the 73 car Flying Ryan Kimball goes to the grass. The 21 of Dario Caperci almost spins to avoid him. It's the 8 car of Jason Parker getting into the 73 of Flying Ryan Kimball. Kimball, the pole sitter, qualified for this event by winning July's Chase for the Colors event, and unfortunately will be forcibly removed from that coveted inside pole starting position. There you see the instant replay. The 8 car, the new H Punisher Jason Parker, just leans on the 73 of Kimball going into turn 1. You're carrying so much speed heading into 1 at Peterborough. You're incredibly vulnerable making that turn down into the corner. Doesn't take a whole lot to upset the car on entry. And here we got another view from the onboard camera, the 22 of Chris Mitchell. There's the 8 car Parker. Doesn't take much. Just kisses the 73 car on the Wally Jansen-owned Camaro of Flying Ryan Kimball. The Peterborough Speedway regular goes around, and there you have the ensuing aftermath. The 17 car is Nick Roth, hard into the barrier at the end of the front straightaway. 81 of Brittany Gressel, 24, and Nick Getz, 14 of Thane Halliburton, 41 of Taylor Holdaway. All cars that sort of try to make inroads to avoid the spinning number 73 of Flying Ryan Kimball. When you get the inside poles that are going around, it really does jack up the field accordion style. So we'll go back to the restart here. 22 of Chris Mitchell inherits the lead. B10 of Kelly Balson on the outside. And the 35 of the Instant Classic, Andy Camrath, wastes little time slipping by the B10 of the crowd pleaser Kelly Balson. Now it's a battle for the 3rd spot. Flying Frank Davey, the Sunset Speedway regular, ducks to the inside of the B10 of Kelly Balson. Balson trying to make things work up on the top side of the racetrack, trying to grab the tallest fruit off the branch, now down the back straightaway, trying to find something up in the marbles. The 49 of Flying Frank Davey will take the spot up into the top 3. Goes the former Thunder Car Division standout. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the 22 of Mitchell and the 35 of Camrath are pulling away early on. Mitchell, the former Autumn Colors Classic champion, the Peterborough Speedway regular. Camrath, the 13-time limited late model feature winner from Sauble Speedway. Spent the 2013 campaign racing full-time at Sunset Speedway in that streamlined race products house car owned by Sean McWhirter. Mitchell now with a 3-car length lead as they flash down the back of the front straightaway under the start-finish line. Camrath dogging the 22 car. He's been so close in recent years. Has Holland Landing Ontario driver Andy Camrath. He's had one taken from him in the tech line. He's had a set of rear gears go on him. He's been caught up in somebody else's wreck. I mean, Andy Camrath's lost the Autumn Colors Classic just about every way you possibly can. And right now he rides in the 2nd spot, hanging in the rearview mirror, the number 22 machine of handsome Chris Mitchell. There you have the full field now flash by the front straightaway. 24 cars took the green flag this afternoon for the 75 lap limited late model feature. And look at the lead that Mitchell and Camrath are already putting on the rest of the field. Over a half straightaway, just 5 laps into this 75 lap event. And oh, we got trouble down the front straightaway. That's 41 of Hollywood Taylor Holdaway goes around. That is the 17 car of Adam Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson, the Peterborough Speedway regular, getting into the 41 of Holdaway. Holdaway's had a good season up at Sunset Speedway. Didn't have a feature win, but certainly came into this event as one to keep an eye on. The early spin will set him back a bit. Green flag out on the restart now. Camrath to the top side, Mitchell on the bottom. The white car coming into the frame is the 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. Walters now will power into the final spot on the podium, and now it's Walters at the bottom of the racetrack. Walters gets the line on the 35 of Camrath, shows him the nose, not able to make the move, and Camrath now power slides up the racetrack. This battle for the 2nd spot, and oh, we got trouble. That's the 89 of the Mastodon, Sean Chenoweth. Chenoweth, a pro late model regular out at Flamborough Speedway, brought both his pro late model and his limited late model down to the Classic for the weekend. As we're back, green flag racing on the restart now. How about the 35 of the Instant Classic, Andy Camrath? Camrath with the picture-perfect restart goes around and drops down in front of the number 22 of handsome Chris Mitchell. And now it is Camrath leading the way here in a limited late model feature event for the first time this afternoon. Gives 2nd spot to the number 22 of handsome Chris Mitchell. 3rd will go to the 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. Flying Frank Davey in the 49 now moves to the 4th spot, but keep an eye on the number 48. That is the bully Dwayne Baker, coasting right now in the 6th position. The 2013 winner of Barrie Speedway's 100-lap Gary Reynolds Memorial. A former NASCAR provincial champion is the bully Dwayne Baker, and right now he is making his way up through this field. He's into the top 5 and certainly looking for more as the battle wages on for the top spot. Chris Mitchell, rat-a-tat-tat to the back door, the number 35 of the Instant Classic. Andy Kamrath holds on to the lead, but Mitchell not letting him get too far out of the crosshairs as Walters coasts in the 3rd spot. Baker now to 4th. Give 5th to the 49 of Flying Frank Davey. Davey in the 49 car, the Sunset Speedway regular, a sophomore in the Limited Late Model Division, having a good weekend here at Peterborough's Autumn Colors Classic, racing amongst the best in the division. He'll lose a spot to the B10 car, the crowd pleaser Kelly Balson. Balson, a former Peterborough Speedway regular, multi-time winner of the Autumn Colors Classic. He's now up into the 4th spot. Mitchell now all over the back bumper. There's a little bit of contact hitting down to 1. And Mitchell stays on the back bumper of Kamrath through 2. Down the back straightaway now. The Instant Classic will buy himself some real estate. A half car length at best in front of the number 22 of handsome Chris Mitchell. The Dent Dynamics sponsored Toyota Camry. We got 1 car out of the racing group through 3 and 4. He'll jump back into line. It looked as though that was the 21 of Dario Capercio. As we stay clean and green, and Mitchell goes back to work on the 35 of Kamrath. Shows the nose to the youngster out of Holland Landing, Ontario. Andy Kamrath, just 25 years of age, trying to hold off the 22 car Mitchell, not able to do so. He gets up into the top group of the racetrack. Mitchell says, thank you very much. Drops down in front of the number 35, and we got the number 22 car of handsome Chris back out front. He'll bring with him the number 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. Walters to the 2nd spot, the 30-time champion, a member of the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame in the catbird seat. Trying to track down the 22 of handsome Chris Mitchell. A lot of history between these two drivers. It was the Autumn Colors Classic in 2011 where they went at it on the final lap, took one another out of the win. And don't think that either one of these drivers have forgotten about that. There's a lot of mutual respect between these two, but I don't think they're really on each other's Christmas cards list right now. Walters, 3 car lengths back to the number 22 of Mitchell as they work their way through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Handsome Chris Mitchell's been fast all weekend long. Started in the 2nd row. Was the benefactor of that early race contact between the 8 car of Jason Parker and the 73 of Flying Ryan Kimball, and now finds himself back leading the train, playing the role of the drum major in this limited late model parade as they now head towards lap traffic. Mitchell, for the first time this afternoon, will have to work through some slower cars. Walters cruises in the 2nd spot. Give 3rd to the Instant Classic Andy Kamrath. 4th is the bully Dwayne Baker. 5th is the crowd pleaser Kelly Balson. And we're going to get a caution flag out on the speedway. Caution flag flies. So a quick debris caution, and we're back at it now. Walters at the top side, Mitchell on the bottom. Handsome Chris Mitchell in the race Toyota. Dent Dynamics sponsored Camry hangs on to the lead through 1 and 2. Walters now to the rear deck lid, down the back straightaway. Kamrath's there as well. It's a 3-car battle. 3 cars racing in the proverbial phone booth for the lead in this one. And don't look now, but the number 73 car Flying Ryan Kimball, our pole sitter, who was taken out early in the going, has recovered nicely. He's back to the top 10 now. Flying Ryan Kimball might have a car to keep an eye on, that Jansen Enterprises sponsored ride, as he now works to the outside of the number 66 of Jesse Kennedy. Car length separates our race leader Chris Mitchell from the number 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. Walters, a multi-time Sunset Speedway track champion, 2-time winner of Peterborough's Autumn Colors Classic, and a perennial rival of our race leader Chris Mitchell. Top 4 cars now starting to break away from the rest of the pack as Andy Kamrath has a rear view mirror full of the Zancourt Custom Homes number 48 of the bully Dwayne Baker. Dwayne Baker says, remember me? Knocks to the back door of the number 35 of Kamrath. Kamrath floats again up into the 2nd group, and then you see that car has got to keep it on the bottom of the racetrack. As soon as Kamrath gets out of that bottom groove, he's in trouble. And we've got the 49 of Flying Frank Davey going around. The GreenSteelRoof.ca sponsored Chevrolet goes for the spin off of 4. The driver out of River Drive Park, Ontario, a former Autumn Colors Classic winner in the Thunder Car division, will come to a rest in the wet grass down in turn number 4. He might require the assistance of our Peterborough Speedway wrecker to get back rolling once again. 17 car of Adam Cuthbertson will bring it down pit road, as will the number 79 of Corey Horner, the custom forming sponsored Chevrolet. So quickie yellow, we get the 49 of Flying Frank Davey back onto the racetrack. We go back green flag racing. This time it's Stompin' Tom Walters with a bit of an advantage on the outside. We mentioned earlier how Camrath was struggling on the top side. The same cannot be said for the number 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. Walters is money on the top side, slides down in front of the number 22, and we've got our new leader. It is indeed the number 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters, and the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Famer. And we are going to get another caution flag here. Caution flag will fly. Walters and Mitchell, round number 2. And Mitchell, not a great start there. He'll open up the door for the number 48 of the bully, Dwayne Baker. Baker doesn't need much of an invitation. And Mitchell left the door open for him. Now it's Baker trying to hound the number 22 of Mitchell for the runner-up position. Stompin' Tom Walters with a lot of breathing room. And it looks like we're going to bring them back again. Another bad start here as the Church of the Yellow Flag is in session midway through this 75-lap event. Another debris caution, which really helped the 22 car of Mitchell, who got a bad restart that time around. Much better here. And Mitchell now will go back to work on the number 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. That 47 car has been good everywhere so far today. He can do it on the top side. He's even better on the bottom. It looks as though the Denton Dynamics number 22 car, handsome Chris Mitchell, needs that bottom groove of the racetrack to go to work, though. He's going to have a hard time taking it from Walters, and we will again get another caution flag out. The pace of this event being disrupted here in the midway. As there you have it. Wow, that was hard impact. I think that was the number 71 of Steve Foster, the green car, if I'm not mistaken. Hammered that turn 2 wall. Can't see the other car involved. Might be the 99 car of Steve Adams, the Sauble Speedway driver. We're going to go ahead and bring these cars to a halt. And it is indeed Mr. Foster and Mr. Adams. Peterborough Speedway safety crew out to check on the 2 drivers. It looks as though everyone's A-OK. Window nets are dropped on both cars, which is the main concern here. Steel can certainly be straightened or replaced, but the safety of our competitors is paramount, so both drivers are all right. We'll just have to work to extricate both those wounded race cars from the turn 2 wall as we are under red flag conditions. So a quick cleanup and we're back at it. Look at Walters, pushes the 22 car Mitchell right to the wall on the restart. That's a veteran move by Stompin' Tom Walters. Mitchell now with a cold trickle crossover down the back straightaway, and the 22 jumps to the inside. Mitchell now shows the nose to the 47 of Walters. They're side by side through 3 and 4, down the front straightaway. Walters still with the lead, but Mitchell now powers back. Handsome Chris Mitchell, the Peterborough Speedway regular, racing in his backyard, down the back straightaway, trying to go to work here on the 47 of legend, Stompin' Tom Walters. At the stripe, too close to call. They're still scoring as the 47. But don't look now. The 22 of handsome Chris Mitchell for the 3rd time this afternoon has put the Denton Dynamics sponsored Toyota Camry back out front. Walters now to the 2nd spot, and he will fall right into the clutches of the 48 of the bully, Dwayne Baker. Baker running in the 3rd spot. That's as high as he's been all afternoon. Started mid-pack here in the 75-lap event. Has a head full of steam right now. The bully, Dwayne Baker, an expert in extended distance events. Former Gary Reynolds Memorial winner. 2-time Barrie Speedway track champion. Former Whalen All-American Series provincial champion. Is the Stayner, Ontario veteran. So the bully, Dwayne Baker, a formidable opponent at least for the number 47 car of Stompin' Tom Walters. Jason Bam Bam Woody now going to work into the 4th spot. 5th will go to the number 37 of Marvelous Marvin Freiberger. Freiberger, the lone Ford-powered car in the field here this afternoon, made the long haul down from Walkerton, Ontario. Did the Sauble Speedway regular, and we got caution flag out on the speedway. Incident up in the turn 3 area. We got a logjam full of cars. It'll be the 73 car flying Ryan Kimball. Day has gone from bad to worse, and out climbs the driver of the 10 car, Gord Shepard. Shepard with his arms in the air, playing the role of air traffic control here, letting flying Ryan Kimball know he's not impressed with him. So here's your replay right now. Shepard tried to get a run to the inside. Kimball looked to close the door, and it's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. You want to say, was at fault there? Did Kimball come down? Did Gordy go up? I mean, either way, it was 2 drivers going for the same hole, and unfortunately, it'll knock both competitors out of this one. So Peterborough Speedway's Ryan Kimball, Barrie Speedway's Gord Shepard, both done for the day. Back green flag racing. Handsome Chris Mitchell gets the good start in the number 22 car, and Mitchell has as much breathing room as he's had all afternoon long. Walters still in the second spot. Baker cruises in third. Then it's Whitty, Freiberger, McTeer, Halliburton, and Kennedy. That's your top 8 as they roll down the back straightaway. Hollywood Taylor Holdaway rebounding nicely from an early race spin. The Holdaway Automotive sponsored Ford out of Orillia, Ontario. Former Mini Cup standout has settled in nicely to the limited late model division. 6-year veteran is Hollywood Taylor Holdaway, as handsome Chris Mitchell continues to drive away from the 47 of Stompin' Tom Walters. The battle might be on for second as Baker is trying to get a line on the 47 of Walters. Remember, Walters, that car is good on the bottom and the top side of the racetrack. That's going to help in a big way here at Peterborough as we get another caution flag out for a spin in turn 1. Quickie yellow, we're back at it. Handsome Chris Mitchell, Stompin' Tom Walters. They've been the face of this race for most of the early part. We're 21 laps into this 75-lap affair. Down the back straightaway, Mitchell nails another restart, and Baker now will jump to the inside of the 47, shows the door to the 47, and Dwayne Baker will power into the runner-up position. Walters now hung out to dry on the outside. Grab your ticket, because here comes the freight train. Jason Whitty's in line. Bam Bam Whitty out of Queensville, Ontario now. Gonna jump up into the fray as well. And now it's Whitty side by side with the 47 of Walters. Baker now pulls away from the battle for third as the bully wants to try to take a run at the 22 car handsome Chris Mitchell. These are two drivers that might only race against each other once or twice a year. Mitchell, his stable out of Omini, Ontario. Baker out of Stayner. 3 hours separating the two home bases, so we don't get to see these two on the racetrack very often, but when we do, it's typically a classic. Baker, one of the best in the central Ontario region. Mitchell, a standout in the eastern portion of the province. So Whitty's going to join the battle as well. 3 cars now, pulling away from the rest of the field. The 47 of Walters might be tapering off a little bit, and Walters is going to have to contend with the number 37 of Marvelous Marvin Freiberger. Freiberger in the Ford, trying to make his way around the number 47 car of Walters into the 4th spot. That early lead that Mitchell was enjoying has been all but extinguished here. Less than a car length separates himself from the number 48 of the bully Dwayne Baker. Just as I say that though, Mitchell gets that monster run off of 2, tries to pull away from the number 48. Mitchell in the Dan McCaddy Race Cars chassis. Baker in the Port City. Jason Whitty in the McCall car. As it is still handsome Chris Mitchell. The Dent Dynamics Race Toyota sponsored Camry out front. 2 car lengths now from the number 22 machine down the back straightaway. Does Jason Bam Bam Whitty have enough to jump up into the fray with the top 2? Whitty has never won the Autumn Colors Classic. He's been close a number of times. It was 2008 that Jason Whitty came out and had this race won when rear end failure took him out of the lead with less than 5 laps remaining. So Jason Bam Bam Whitty, one of the most affable, personable drivers in the paddock area. Back at Peterborough here in 2013, trying to make amends, trying to jump up into the fray. Wants to be in the conversation, but he's got to slip past the number 48 car, the bully Dwayne Baker, to do so. Easier said than done. Baker, the former Whalen All-American Series Ontario champion, right in the wheelhouse of the number 22 of handsome Chris Mitchell. Top 3 cars have turned in their room keys and checked out from the rest of the field. Look at Mitchell, picture perfect through 1 and 2. Corner entry, absolutely flawless right now for the Dynamics entry. Mitchell's just got to hang on to that car. You take care of your equipment here at Peterborough, it will take care of you. Got to keep your brakes relatively cool, keep those tires under you, and you'll be in good shape come lap number 74. The bully Dwayne Baker very quickly took a look to the outside, decides against it, falls back into line. It's going to be tough taking away the bottom of the racetrack from the 22 car handsome Chris Mitchell though. Mitchell's got it locked down like a bank vault right now. Baker able to catch the 22 car Mitchell, but passing him is something else completely. So right now content just to ride, put the pressure on. You know the handsome Chris Mitchell knows he's there. Mitchell with spotter Mike Rusher on the radio. Rusher letting him know that Baker is taking a look, not able to catch you, but he's right there. as the field are coming up on some lap traffic here. This might shake things up a little bit. 81 car, Brittany Gressel, will be the first car to go a lap down, and Gressel might play the great equalizer here, as she's going to provide a bit of an obstacle here for the top three. Gressel will get to the inside, let the leaders go by on the top side of the racetrack. Mitchell's going to be the first one around. The 22 car tests the waters. He is able to get by the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park sponsor number 81 of Sauble Speedway's Brittany Gressel. Baker slips by as well. Jason Whitty having a little bit tougher time with the 81 car, and that unfortunately will have Whitty losing some ground on the top two. So now it's a two-car battle. Baker in the 48, Mitchell in the 22, your race leader down the back straightaway. They're coming up in the number 49 car, flying Frank Davey. Davey had a good start to this race. Unfortunately, was caught up in an early spin down in the turn 4 area, which relegated him to the rear of the field. And right now, it's Davey just trying to stay out of the way as the leaders are coming up on that number 49 car in a hurry. Mitchell's going to have to get his Lord of the Dance moves on, as he's got some cars in front of him. Has to be very careful the way he traverses the lap traffic here, because the bully Dwayne Baker is ready to capitalize in a moment's notice. Baker looks to the inside, sees the number 49 of flying Frank Davey there, knows he's got to go to the outside alongside the number 22 car of handsome Chris Mitchell. They're going to make that run on the lap car down the back straightaway. Jason Bam Bam Whitty has utilized this moment to jump back into the conversation, and we are now back to our familiar three-car battle at the front of this field here in the 75-lap limited late model feature at Peterborough Speedway for the 21st annual Autumn Colors Classic. Mitchell still leads the way as they put the 49 car of flying Frank Davey one lap down. Look at Baker trying to take away the bottom of the racetrack. Mitchell says, I don't think so. Hangs on to the first groove. 17 car of Adam Cuthbertson will be the next one to go a lap down. Car length and change now separates the top two. Single file all the way around Peterborough Speedway right now. We're in the midway portion of this 75-lap event. This is when you just want to conserve your equipment as best you can, not get into any trouble, keep the fenders on the car as best you can to make that late race push. This is when mistakes are made. Midway portion of the race, drivers are starting to move up into the top 10, getting a little bit antsy, especially the drivers that have been involved in some early race chicanery. Guys like Taylor Holdaway, the 41 car, has recovered nicely. Maybe you haven't talked enough about the youngster out of Orillia, Ontario, but he is right now surging towards the top 5. Holdaway coming off of a top 3 finish at the Gary Reynolds Memorial at Barrie Speedway 2 weeks ago. So he has got the momentum on his side right now, but as does the 48 car, the bully Dwayne Baker. Baker was the winner at the Gary Reynolds Memorial 2 weeks ago. And oh, we got trouble. The 19 car, Jason Bam Bam Whitty, spins out of the 3rd spot all by himself. Let's see if we can get a replay there as the Carrot Express, Matco Tools, Queensville, Sod sponsored Chevrolet. Here you see the back end of the car just snap around on the 19 car, Jason Bam Bam Whitty. Excellent job done by a number of drivers running just behind the 19 car to avoid Jason Whitty, one of those drivers being the number 41 of Hollywood, Taylor Holdaway, the aforementioned driver out of Orillia, Ontario. 14 car, Tyler Liscombe, also had to take evasive action as well. So here we go, top 5, 22 of Mitchell, 48 of Baker, 41 of Holdaway, 14 is Liscombe, 47 is Walters. That's your top 5. Jesse Kennedy in the 66, Thane Halliburton in the 14. Just outside of the Fast 5, Tyler Liscombe had that 14 car upset entering the turn 1 area there. Had to grab a handful of wheel to keep that car pointed in the right direction. He's now under attack like a bulletin board from the number 14 car of Thane Halliburton. So it's the white 14 versus the black 14, and give the advantage to the Hillsdale Hurricane Thane Halliburton, who will usurp the 5th spot down the back straightaway. Business as usual back out front though. The Dent Dynamics Race Toyota sponsored Camry of Mitchell is your race leader, and live wire Nick Getz goes for a spin, solo spin down the front straightaway. There you see the 24 car. Just steps out like an angry spouse for a moment, and around goes his Toyota Camry. So Getz will bring that car down pit road, and we will get back to action here. Baker now to the top side of the racetrack. Power move on the outside. Drag race with Mitchell down the back straightaway. The bully Dwayne Baker's been conserving all race long. Now he's trying to show his hand a little bit. The Zancore Custom Homes Baker Performance Parts sponsored Dodge to the top side of the racetrack, and Baker gets the run off of 2. What a move by the bully Dwayne Baker. He'll drop in front of the number 22 of Mitchell, and we have a new leader. The veteran out of Stayner, Ontario, the former Barrie Speedway track champion, Dwayne Baker is your race leader. Mitchell shuffled to second, give third to the 41 of Hollywood Taylor Holdaway. 2 laps to go in this one. The bully Dwayne Baker with the late race move, and will it pay off? In back-to-back Autumn Colors Classic victories for Dwayne Baker, it will indeed. The 48 car with 3 laps to go, powered by on the outside, and Dwayne Baker will win his 2nd consecutive Autumn Colors Classic Championship with a power move on the top side of the racetrack by the 22 of Handsome Chris Mitchell. Folks, it does not get any better than that. That is Equipment Preservation 101. Dwayne Baker, the multi-time Barrie Speedway track champion, the former NASCAR Whelen All-American Series provincial champion, is now a 2-time winner of the biggest race in Ontario short track racing. In the limited late model division, the bully Dwayne Baker, your race leader, turned race winner. Only led 3 laps, but most importantly, led the one that counts. We pay out on lap number 75, and the bully Dwayne Baker will be meeting us in victory lane. There you see the number 22 car of Handsome Chris Mitchell stops and gives him the thumbs up. And the Baker Performance Parts sponsor number 48 of the bully Dwayne Baker will pick up the checkered flag for the 2nd straight year here at Peterborough Speedway. He is your 21st winner of the Autumn Colors Classic out of Stayner, Ontario. Representing Sunset Speedway, it is indeed the bully Dwayne Baker.